live. For those that don't know, again, my name is Hutchison. Definitely good to be in front of each and every single one of you all here today, right? Let's go ahead. We don't even need the virtual. Let's see where we at. There we go. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So I'm so happy and grateful now. Starting at the top, Gerald says, I'm so happy and grateful now for life, for family, for my retired and 365 family, for health, for wealth, for trading accounts consistently growing, and who I am growing to be while I'm impacting and partnering with 12 individuals by August 31st, 2021. Yolanda says, I'm so happy and grateful now for abundance, happy and grateful now for confidence, happy and grateful now for prosperity. I'm so happy and grateful now to be vibrating on the frequency of Chairman 250. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm doing the work, discipline, I'm focused, I'm extremely organized. Six-figure trading days are now my reality, right? Say that, Chanel. Destiny says, I'm so happy and grateful now for my retired 365 family. Happy and grateful now that I am profitable six-figure trader. I am healthy. I am wealthy. It is done. I'm happy and grateful now that I'm adding like-minded, coachable people to my business daily. Amber says, I'm happy and grateful now for my retired 365 family and that I earn $100,000 a week. I am healthy. I am wealthy. It is done. I'm so happy and grateful now for the overflow of family into our community, right? Drop some fire emojis in the chat for yourselves, right? Definitely. Love when you guys are putting the I'm so happy and grateful now in the chat. Love reading what it is that you're grateful for, right? And more importantly, make sure you're writing this stuff. Make sure you're speaking these things to yourself each day, right? Right. Don't make this the only time that you're writing what you're happy and grateful now for. You actually want to be writing this stuff on paper. You actually want to be reading it out, right? It doesn't matter how you do it, but you want to make sure you do it, right? I don't care if you use a little notepad. I don't care if you use sticky notes. I don't care if you use a whiteboard. Like, it doesn't even matter, right? So we're going to actually do two things today, right? We're going to give you just some things that you can think about as you're going throughout your week, right? We're going to go over the win formula, right? What's the success formula, y'all? WACC, right? You got to be WACC to be successful. We're gonna bring it back, right? I feel like it's been too long since we talked about how to be successful. Then we're going to go over just some of the takeaways that I took just from SummerSlam, some things that I wrote down that I even added to my daily. I'm so happy and grateful now. Like, I literally have boards. Like, we got things everywhere of what it is that I'm reading each and every single day, but just making sure that those things are really just constant space repetition, right? But we're going to start with the formula for success, right? We're going to start with the formula for success. And as I always say, right, make sure you're taking notes as if you're going to teach this to somebody else. Make sure you're actually coming into this, right? When you're getting on these calls, you're getting this information for the person that's not in your business yet. You're getting this information for the person inside your organization that's not on the call yet. And more importantly, you're getting this information to grow yourself to be able to help them, because if we don't grow ourselves, then we can't help anybody else, right? If we don't grow ourselves, we definitely cannot help anybody else. And I got my, I'll put it in the room, I think. Oh, there it is. Just from yesterday, right? All the amazing stuff that Paris was talking about. And I'm actually going to touch on some of the things that he went over, right? In a slightly different way. But I want you guys to really be locked in, right? So everybody says that they're willing to learn, right? Everybody says, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do what it takes to get to the next level, whether it's for that trade account, whether it's for building your business, right? Getting to that platinum 150, getting to platinum 1,000, getting to platinum 5,000, getting to chairman 10 and above, but who's actually willing to do the work, right? So, for the formula, for those that don't know, the success formula, you want to write this down, is WACC, right? You got to be WACC to be successful, right? You got to be WACC to be successful. And I love that, because so often most people feel like they need to fit in. And the reality is, the people who are successful don't fit in anywhere, right? They don't fit into anybody but successful people, right? If you want to be like, no offense, your broke friends or your current situation, if you're one of those broke friends right now, right? Like, you might be one of those people, and that's okay. Like, it's okay, right? But if you want to stay in that position, then you're not going to even be in this. No, it's okay. If that's the desire of your heart, is to be in that position, then that's okay. God bless you. God bless you, right? But if you want to elevate, right? If you want to do something new, if you want to go to another level, then there's some things that you're going to have to do that are different than what it is that you've been doing on a consistent basis, right? So some of those things is, again, the WACC formula, the W stands for willing, right? The W stands for willing. Now, what do you have to be willing to do? Well, you got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to be teachable and coachable along the process, right? You got to be willing to do these things each and every single day, right? And how do you determine how willing you are? Well, I love this, because if you turn, actually, I'm gonna find it real quick. We went over this before, right? And I'm glad it's in book form because it's amazing, right? But if we go to what page was it on? It was on hold on. Rewind. I'm gonna turn. Here we go. Page 37 of the I Believe Experience workbook, right? Go ahead, turn to chapter 37. We went over this before. Willingness to learn times willingness to change is your teachability index, right? So you're not teachable and coachable if you're not, number one, willing to learn, and you're not, number two, willing to change, right? You can't just be one or the other, right? You got to be willing to do what's necessary in order to get you where it is that you want to go. And then the A stands for able, right? What do you have to be able to do? You got to be able to act. You got to be able to prioritize. You got to be able to take initiative, right? But that A, you got to be able to take action. You got to be able to take action. So number one, you got to be willing to do the things that are necessary, right? But then you got to be able to take action. So often people think about this, right? We're here inside of this academy. We're here inside of what it is that we do, right? Many people were willing to go ahead and pay the money to learn the skill set, but they weren't able to take the action necessary in planning their schedule in order to actually learn it in the time that they wanted to learn it in. They weren't able to actually go ahead and do the necessary steps. Like Paris talked, like you can't not do the actions and expect the results, right? You can't not do the actions but expect the results. So a lot of people are willing to start, but a lot of people aren't able to take that next step, right? And it's not because they're not physically able to do it. They're not, their priorities aren't in order, right? Their priorities aren't in order. And actually, I'm gonna shift over a little bit, right? Because you got to think that sometimes even easy isn't easy, right? How many people can resonate that sometimes even easy isn't easy, right? And it's not that it's actually not easy, but it doesn't feel easy in the moment, right? If you read the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, right? We did that last year, right? Shout out to you if you were a part of that. We were definitely going to get back to that eventually, but in that book, right, it talks about the guy when he was in the water with the shark, right? And in that moment, he was scared, right? His first thought, think about, let me walk you through what happened in the water. He's a surfer that's out there about to catch a wave. The first thing that happened was he was swimming, right? He was looking for the perfect wave in order to be able to take him to shore. Not because of anything else other than he wanted to surf, right? Now, what happened was he spotted the perfect wave, right? The wave that he was waiting for. The thing that was going to take him to where he wanted to go. But in that moment, he also spotted a shark, right? So follow this. If you haven't read the book, keep up. If you have read the book, it still makes sense. He spotted the perfect wave that he's been waiting for. But he also spotted a shark at the same time. Now, what happened in that moment was fear took over. His senses, instead of focusing on the wave that he was waiting for, which actually would have took him to safety, he focused on the shark, which made him miss his ride home, right? Because he was so focused on the distraction, he couldn't focus on the thing that was already sent to save him, right? But then we go even further. The shark comes over. Now he done already missed his ride home. What happened? He tries to touch the shark. Listen to what happened. He's in the water with the shark. Because he missed his security, right? Because he was distracted, he's now in a predicament where something can kill him, right? In his mind, it's easy to say, why didn't you just hop on that wave and go home? But his feelings and emotions took over, right? It took over rational thought. Sometimes your feelings and emotions are going to take over your rational thought when you're out here trying to trade. Sometimes your feelings and emotions are going to take over rational thought when all right, go ahead, 46 presentations a week. All right, go ahead, pick up the phone. You look at the phone, you know what to do, but you don't hit the call button. You look at your calendar, you know all you have to do is write a time down and you freeze, right? But in that moment, what happened? You also have to be able to understand that might happen, because we know it's easy, but even the things that are easy aren't always easy. But what can you do in those moments? You got to, number one, recognize that's what's happening, and you got to be able to put things in place. Number one, speaking the right things, like Paris talked about so many times yesterday. And then once you're speaking it, you got to be writing it down. Just start writing. Just start writing, right? Because in that moment, after he missed the wave, what happened? His next thought almost killed him, because his next thought was, I'm gonna die anyway. Let me at least touch the shark. How many of y'all use that in your trade account? I'm gonna lose money anyway. Let's go ahead and take this big lot size, right? I'm not gonna hit chairman anyway, so I'm not gonna make the call. That's what goes through your head, right? And the only reason that will go through your head is if you're not speaking the right things, if you're not listening to the right things, if you're not writing each and every single day. Are those thoughts going to come up? Of course, right? But you got to be able to combat that with the words that you're feeding yourself over and over and over, right? Courage doesn't lie. Courage does not come through what it is that you're saying one time, right? There's a starting line every single day in your life. Like every single day, you got to wake up and make the decision that you're going to be willing to do what it takes, and you're going to be able to prioritize your time each and every single day. You can't just do it one time, right? And you also got to understand there's nothing guaranteed when you get up to the starting line. Just because you woke up today doesn't mean 10 people are going to join your business. No, there's some things that you got to do. And you got to also understand that even if you do all of those things, right? This is what trips some people up. Even if you call 100 people today, it doesn't mean they're going to join your business today. Especially if this is the first day you did it. But you got to have that courage to say, I'm going to do it no matter what. Because I know that it's going to bring the result, right? It's going to bring the result, right? I know the seat is confident, right? But it doesn't take confidence. It actually takes courage for you to keep going, right? You got to actually keep going no matter what the outcome's going to be, and know that you actually have to do those things, right? But the next C is confidence, because you got to have confidence to actually do what? You have to have confidence to even do those activities now. But you don't get the confidence until you take action. Y'all see that? You don't get confidence until you take action. That C can actually be confidence. It can be courage. It can be both of those, right? Confidence or courage, because you got to understand that I might come up short. Like things might not work out the way I want them to in the time that I want them to, but I still have to go ahead and actually take the necessary steps each and every single day, right? But then the last C is consistent. You got to never quit, right? You got to be consistent in those activities. Like we just talked about, it's the things that you're telling yourself every day, not the things that you tell yourself for one day, right? Because there's definitely going to be ups and downs in your business. There's going to be ups and downs in your trade account. There's going to be ups and downs in your life, right? You can be out there in the water thinking everything's good and something come in your way and distracts you, right? And even if you allow that distraction to let you miss your ride home, you still have to do what? Look for the next opportunity to get out. Don't give up and try to touch the shark because you think you're going to die. Nah, you got to fight back. Eventually it clicked and he was like, nah, I'm fighting back. He started to use his surfboard. He started to call out to other people. He started to swim. When he got back to his conscious mind, when he started thinking, he used his voice. When he started thinking, he took action. He fought the shark. He warned other people. He started thinking about other people. He started trying to save himself. Some people just lay in the water and they don't even try to save themselves. You got to ask yourself, if you were in the predicament where you were in the middle of the water and there was a shark there, would you try to save yourself or would you lay there and let the shark eat you? Or would you give yourself a fighting chance? Would you? I don't know. Would you give yourself that fighting chance? Listen, I don't care if I come out of there with one arm, with one leg. It don't matter. I'm coming home. We gonna fight. I'm living to tell the story. Y'all, I was out there with a shark. Look, I know I survived a shark attack, right? What a story to tell. He had all of his limbs, thank God, right? But he had to really not only take that action, he had to gain confidence in the moment when he was literally looking the beast in the eye. He had to gain confidence. It was either gain confidence or fall victim to the thing that was in front of him, right? Which one are you going to do when your demons face you? I don't know what that thing's going to be for you, but you got to understand, number one, you got to start. Like, you got to take the initiative to actually start, right? You got to be willing and able to take the action. But then after you start, you got to gain that confidence through repetition, right? You got to gain that confidence through repetition. And understand it's okay to not always be okay, y'all. It's okay to not be okay. Like, there's going to be some things that, listen, we talked about this before. This was, I think, last year. It was a call I did, and I said that you're your best coach, right? You are the best coach that you will ever have. Now, you're going to have some phenomenal coaches, some phenomenal mentors, some phenomenal people, but at the end of the day, you have to be your own best coach. What does that mean? Well, the coach knows what's good for the athlete, right? So if you're your best coach, you know when to listen to somebody else, number one, right? All best coaching relationships are built on trust. So if the relationship is built on trust, you got to ask, do I even trust myself, right? Can you trust yourself to do what it is that you say you're going to do, right? Ask yourself how you're actually doing, right? And yes, you're speaking your affirmations. Yes, you're speaking the right words, but you also have to be real with where you are while also speaking your future. Well, Javon, what do you mean by that? Well, if I'm running and there is something wrong with my leg, me speaking that I don't have a cramp is not going to take away the cramp in my leg, right? It's not going to take away the cramp in my leg. There's some actions that I need to do in order for that cramp not to be there. And I have to be honest with myself or with my coach that I have a cramp. Currently, I'm experiencing a cramp right now because of whatever's happening, right? And maybe I don't know the why, but me letting the coach know what I'm going through, not complaining about it, but looking for a solution. Now, when the coach tells me, drink some water, go roll out on the foam roller, I have a decision to do what? Follow the coach's instruction. But sometimes you have a cramp in your business. Sometimes you have a cramp in your account. Sometimes you have a cramp somewhere else, right? Something's not massaging its way out. And when the coach gives you the solution, you don't do it. And then you wonder why you still have a cramp. You wonder why things still aren't working out. Well, you didn't admit that, number one, you didn't admit what was happening. Well, I haven't been calling the number of people I need to be calling. How would you know that if you didn't fill out your daily method of operation, right? Sometimes the coach don't even need to tell you what to do. Just the fact of you filling out and knowing what it is you did or didn't do would expose those things. But that goes back to the W and the A, willing and able. You got to be willing, even when you're not doing anything, to admit to yourself that I haven't done the work. But that's in the past, and I'm going to change that and start doing the work today, right? So you got to even be willing to say, look, I haven't been doing this. I don't know why it's not working. I just want somebody to sign up. I just want this in my trade account. No. If you haven't done everything, like imagine me going out there to work out and I get a cramp and I'm telling my coach, I don't understand why I keep getting cramps. Well, did you drink your water? Yeah. What have you been eating? Tell them what I've been eating. Okay. Have you been working out the way I've been telling you to work out? I think so. Well, I know after the workout, I told you every day, make sure you stretch for 15 minutes and make sure you do this at a third. And on Sundays, I said to make sure you're doing yoga. So have you been doing that? Yeah. After the workout, I got stuff to do, so I don't really stretch after the workout. That's why you're experiencing what it is you're experiencing. It could be that one thing that you think isn't important that messes everything else up. But you're only doing what you think is important in your business, what you think is important in your trade account, so you don't get the results that you actually want. And then you start to blame everything else on things that aren't really relevant. I can't tell, hey, coach, the workout today was too hard. I don't know why my body feels like this. Well, it's not the coach's fault. The coach wrote the workout based on what I should have been doing. The coach wrote up the play that you're supposed to run in your business based on the activities that you're supposed to be doing. 2 to 3 people per day, right? 4 to 5 days a week. Going live on social media. Whatever that play is that he wrote up for you or she wrote up for you, if you're not running the full play, but you're not getting the results, it was never the play. It was you didn't run it. Y'all see that? And that, I heard this earlier. All right. I heard this earlier. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. There it is. All right, bet. So I wrote this earlier, right? And I thought this was powerful. I've heard this before, but it made me look at it in a different way. It said, surround yourself with people that you trust to disagree with you when you're wrong. Okay? Write this down, y'all. Surround yourself with people that you trust to disagree with you when you're wrong. Okay? Now, your family members, some of your friends maybe that you grew up with, right? They're always probably going to stick by you when you're right? But I know from being an athlete, right, that you're going to gain teammates who are going to let you know, like those teammates become family, but they're going to let you know when you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're doing a warm up the wrong way. Maybe you're doing drills the wrong way, because the coach won't always be out there in the field with you, right? Not always. But you need somebody on your side that's letting you know when you're not doing the right things, right? That person has to be willing to get in your way and also stand up for you, right? But this is what I took away from that, right? It says, surround yourself around people that you trust to disagree with you when you are wrong. Okay? Now, here's the Hail Mary for this one, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if it takes guts to tell somebody that they're wrong. Yeah, it definitely takes some guts to tell somebody that they're wrong, right? Drop a number 2 in the chat if it takes some guts to admit that you're wrong. Maybe even more, right? Drop a number 2 in the chat if it takes some guts to admit that you're wrong. Right. All right, we got 1 and 2. I want y'all to use this when you're out prospecting, okay? I want you to think of the people, and you can even go back if you've already done it. And I'm sure there's somebody on your list that you trust to tell you the truth that you might not have even called yet. But I want you to think of the people in your life that you can tell the truth to and that you trust to tell the truth to you, right? But when I heard it again, I thought of something different. I said, it's all how you flip it, right? Because if we know that it takes guts to tell somebody that they're wrong, but it also takes guts to admit that you're wrong, you end up in a situation sometimes when you reach out to people where they actually love you. It's not that they're not joining because they don't love you. They're trying to stop you from doing what they feel is wrong, right? Y'all ever think about that? Now, I know we might have the information, right? But in their head, they don't have the same information that you have. So you might be saying forget you to somebody who is just trying to help you. If you listen to some of the Chairman 750s when they talk, I remember the story of Matt and Jason, right? They said, I think it was Jason only came to the presentation to save Matt from getting started. He didn't come to join. He didn't show up because, oh, this is my friend and I want to do what he's doing. He came to save him from doing something that he at the time didn't think he should be doing. Now, how can you use that when you're talking to people? Listen, you tell them about what you're doing, right? You tell them about what you're doing. You're gonna still get some of the same reactions that you didn't feel like you would get. But I want you to look at those reactions different. When they give you those reactions, you know what you say? Write this down, y'all. You know what you say when you get those reactions from now on? Listen, I really and truly appreciate that you had the guts to tell me what it is that you believe. And I know it takes guts to tell somebody that they're going the wrong way. But here's what I found. Phil found, y'all. But here's what I found out. Look, this is real. And although that I understand that you might not get it yet, and you might never get it. I appreciate you for actually telling me no, because some people would just ghost me, and I don't want to jeopardize our friendship, our relationship, right? But if you could do me a solid, I would just like you to still at least listen into one of the calls. I'm actually going to be, and this is, hold on. This only works if you're doing the full play. This only works if you're doing the full play. I would like for you to listen in. I'm actually doing a call tonight at this time. I know this might not be for you, but I'm hosting along with one of my mentors, and I would love for you to just, be one of the people that's in attendance so I have a familiar face in the room. That's how I got so many people to the calls in the beginning. I had to go back. Paris said, go back and think about what you did. I didn't care whether they say yes or no. I was telling people, listen, I know you're probably not going to do it. I was calling my aunts, calling my family. Listen, I don't care if you sign up. I just need people on this call, because by having people on this call and you, number one, you seeing me on the call, it's going to give me a little bit more validation, right? You're seeing me, and then you see somebody with success. And then you be like, oh, they are talking good. You still might not join, but now the seed's there, right? Y'all see that? I appreciate you telling me how you feel, right? Through my experiences, I've learned things a little bit different, but I still don't want to sever this relationship. But I would appreciate if you would still support me by showing up. You don't have to buy anything, you don't have to do anything, but I would appreciate you if you still would show up for me. Not for anything else, you show up for me, right? And you can get a lot more people to the cause that way, right? If they told you no. Because it takes guts to admit that they're wrong, and a lot of people don't have guts. They might have had enough guts to tell you that you're wrong, but hearing the information, they might not have enough guts to say that they're wrong and that you're right. You see that? They were okay saying, nah, you're wrong. But they weren't in a position to say, oh, wow, you're actually right. So you got to be the person to say, look, maybe I'm wrong. I would appreciate your support along the way. Can I keep you updated on my success? Can I still ask that you show up every once in a while for me? Think of it. Listen, I've used all these lines. Think of this like I had a brick and mortar store. You ain't got to buy nothing, but tell your friends about what I do. Let them know I got the spot, right? Bring some people through for me. Think about it. Like, pay attention to your chairman. When I watch Justin Owens has a whole group of people who not in the business, who got their own businesses, right? But they all funnel through each other because of relationships. When ET was at SummerSlam, shout out to, drop some fire emojis in the chat if you was at SummerSlam this weekend, right? Drop some fire emojis in the chat if you got a chance to see SummerSlam. Hey, shout out to the family. Shout out to the whole family, right? But SummerSlam was phenomenal, right? But if you notice, there was people from all different walks of life that did different things. And this will allow you to measure your success a bunch of different ways, because success isn't one thing. All right. And I'm gonna finish with this, y'all. Success really is not one thing. Like, you're gonna have breakthroughs and you're gonna have breakdowns in your business, but you gotta keep going, right? You gotta keep going to the next starting line, no matter what it felt like, no matter what was going on. You gotta step up every day. And sometimes when you step up, you might stumble and fall back a little bit, but you gotta keep stepping up. You can't be afraid to take the next step because you lost the trade. You can't be afraid to take the next step because somebody said no, right? Or because you might not be the best talker. If you was at SummerSlam, you saw that UFC fighter, right? He admittedly was not the best speaker, but he stood up there for a good hour and some change and talked and spit some gems, right? It's not about how good you are. It's, are you getting better, right? You're never not good enough to start getting better. Write that down. You're never not good enough to start getting better. But like we said earlier, the fear of starting is what keeps people from starting. I don't know the whole presentation. I never did it before. Who cares? So did so did them over there, but they did it, and that's why they got a result and you didn't. I'm not strong enough, so I'm not going to the gym yet. How does that sound? It don't even sound right. Listen, I'm not strong enough. I'm not in shape enough to go to the gym. So I'm not gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go watch some other people lift weights. I'm gonna go learn from people who are fit and in shape, so I can be ready when I go to the gym. You're never gonna be ready for the gym. There's no amount of videos you can watch to get ready for a gym. It's not. Just go and do some work. And then, listen, nobody even cares. If you see somebody who might be overweight in a gym, guess what? That's where they're supposed to be. That's where they're supposed to be, because that means they're working towards what it is that they want. It's good to see somebody who's in shape in the gym. They're being consistent. That's the motivation for the other person. Y'all notice the gyms don't separate people? The person who it's their first day in the gym and the person who's been going to the gym for the last 10 years, 5 days a week, they use the same equipment. It got the same tutorials on the wall of the equipment. You don't get a different tutorial because it's your first day. You just have to make the decision to use it. But if you never go, you'll never be able to use it, and you'll never be able to get to where those other people are who have been using it. They didn't get there by not using it. What does that look like in your business? Do the presentation. Just do it. Like, there is no amount of studying you can just do it. Just take the trade. Practice in your demo. Like, that's it. Because if you can measure success in so many different ways, right? Success can be the fact that you showed up to do it. Success is the fact that you clicked the button. Success is the fact that you wrote out your schedule. I don't care if you wrote it out. I don't care what you wrote. You wrote it out and you did it. That means you accomplished something, right? Take the small wins, and then they'll start to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Do the basics, right? So what's the play? Hey, David gave the play at the commission. I mean, because he believe in Chief. Hey, because he believe in Chief, because he believe in Chief, because he believe in Chief all day long, right? What's the play? 2 to 3 people per day, right? 5 to 6 nights a week. He said, what did he say? 30 people? 30 people in the next, 30 people. You get 30 people to the event, your business will look the same. We got an event coming up when? November. We got an event coming up when? February. Look at this, y'all. They're giving away a Bentley. For you saying I'm committed to be where the committed people are, look, I don't care who it is. Thank you, Amber. I'm gonna go down. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have a rank, if you don't have a rank, it don't matter. You need to be in the building. Point blank, period. Get your ticket. The early bird premium tickets are sold out. That means that they're regular price now. That means you missed the early bird price. The early bird VIP tickets are almost gone. That means they're about to go up 2-3 times the price. I think the platinum tickets doubled or something like that. Hey, yeah, 4K now. Still worth it. But hey, this goes back to the story I told. If you miss the wave that's taking you to shore, that don't mean you're not gonna go to shore. You still gotta get home. You still gotta get to the event. I don't care if it don't matter if you missed the early bird price. You still gotta get there. You just know it's gonna take a little bit more of a fight now. Instead of getting the wave home, he had to fight the shark to get home. You got to get home no matter what. Because if you're not at the event, you're not what? In the business. These aren't my words. The guy who makes $750,000 a month has been here long enough to know that if you're not at the event, you're not in the business. He would know better than me. So success leaves clues. That's the call for today. Go ahead, get your ticket. Tickets.believenation.events. We're going to go ahead and copy. We're going to paste that right there for y'all. Look, let's have an amazing week. Like Amber put in the chat, that was your first goal is 30 people at the event. Your second goal is 100 people at the event. Your third goal is 300 people at the event. Then 500, then 1,000. It gets easier along the way. Think about it. If you get 30 people there, and all those people bring back 2-3 people, because they said, what? You coming back as a chairman. Like, it really is that easy. Imagine you pull up as a chairman. Oh, hey, that's good, Yolanda. J.O. did say that. Justin always said, all right, we supposed to be going. Look, if you have a Bentley, a Porsche, if you have anything, any type of car on your vision board that costs over, how much, over $50,000 or $100,000, if the car on your vision board costs over $100K and you're not willing to spend $1K on yourself, how are you expect to afford that car? It's not gonna happen. Think about it. If your dream car costs this, but you can't spend this, how are you gonna be able to afford the car? It don't make sense. I don't know about you, but the chance to win a Bentley and give the information that allowed him to be able to give away a Bentley is worth a fraction of the price of a Bentley. And like I said, go ahead, print this page out, put it on your walls. You know the thing. I know majority of y'all won't do it. So I'm so happy and grateful now that I won the Bentley because y'all didn't put it on your boards. I appreciate y'all because I know that maybe 1 or 2 people gonna do it, but they're not gonna consistently do it. So when I get to the event and I come home with the Bentley, I don't want y'all. I'm saving this recorded. I don't want y'all to be like, how did he win the Bentley? Listen, I'm just claiming it right now. I already claimed it, Destiny. Sorry, I'm sorry. You might get the second Bentley because he might give away 2. You know he likes to be generous, right? But listen. Don't be the person that goes out sad. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's go ahead. We getting out of here today. 8 o'clock opportunity call. I believe we have one at 2 o'clock as well. 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Links will be dropped in the Discord chat. Definitely want to make sure you are in attendance, right? Go ahead, let's pack out those calls so you can be in attendance, so you can be in position to go ahead and change your life. But this all starts by being willing to take the action and having the courage and the confidence to stay consistent in what it is that you're doing, all right? So let's go ahead. Let's have an amazing day. And as always, don't procrastinate. Start turning your vision into reality to